Hello and welcome to Jessie Bear Book Club. We like to talk about historical fiction, wildcards, Game of Thrones, and much, much more. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Today I want to talk about Wildcards 11, Dealer's Choice. I had a lot of trouble getting my hands on this book. There are no new editions printed or available, so I bought it on iBook. I really don't like reading anything on my Kindle, but I was so desperate to read this book I thought I would give it a go. Then, to my horror, I realized my Kindle was broken because I never use it, and I ended up getting the book printed and bound like a university dissertation. I got some rather strange looks reading it out and about, but I didn't care, even though business people in the airport stared at me. This book is set over 3 days, in September of 1990, and is very fast-paced. I really enjoyed having some good turtle chapters to read, as he is one of my favorite characters. His POVs when the Wild Hunt is after Hartman are really amazing. I also enjoyed watching Puppet Man getting called out publicly by Bloat. Turtle's interactions with Danny were very touching, as you can tell how lonely he is now he is dead. The scene where Danny gets ripped to bits by the hunting hellhounds gave me goosebumps. Even so, I couldn't warm to Danny Shepherd. I think this is because she is so blasé about danger. It irritated me, but apart from that small fact, I liked her. Her and the Huntman, created by Kevin Andrew Murphy, was a very interesting new character. I loved all the pagan attributes of his character and thought he might become a protagonist who would give us a view into the Twisted Fists. So I was very disappointed when he entered the Dream Time, but I understand his choice. Her and the Huntman's fight with Billy Ray Carnifex was also gripping. I really enjoyed getting Carnifex chapters in this book. And the Carnifex chapters from his romp through the caverns was brilliant and straight out of Dungeons and Dragons. I really enjoyed it. I also enjoyed how confused Carnifex was when people started talking about Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits, or Habits as he called them. Carnifex's interactions with Battle were also rather creepy. You get the vibe straight from the off that Battle is not a nice guy, and this is confirmed from his behavior towards Black Shadow and Cameo, especially Cameo. Could you imagine the brain-ripping horror of expecting to have Black Eagle in your mind and finding Mackie Messer? That was a really low move on Battle's part. Battle simply sees wild cards, aces or jokers, as expendable and less than human. As for Puckett, aka Crypt Kicker, Battle's muscle, I really only thought of him as a big Frankenstein monster, but not as smart, and very loyal, if extremely smelly. The most demented person in this book by a long shot, however, is Body Snatcher. Hithertofore Zelda, created by Walt Simon. This character's story arc is very painful. The fact she killed her own original body, and how she managed to do her blind jump from her own acomatosed body is bad enough, but escaping being gassed by the American military and watching all your friends die would have been Holocaust-level horrific. And though I do not agree with many of Zelda's actions, she was loyal to the concept of the rocks until the very end. I was very surprised Tachyon was not in this book, but I am busy reading Wildcards 10 Double Solitaire, so expect a review on that book very soon. I really was not expecting Mr. Nobody, aka Jerry Strauss, to appear either. I honestly thought we had seen the last of him, but I am really glad Jerry is back, as he is a favorite character of mine. Also, the reappearance of Snotman on the scene is an interesting development, especially now he is Reflector, and seems to hate jokers with a passion. Minstrel being jumped by Molly Blott and then using Minstrel's body to kill Cyclone was gut-wrenching, especially watching Minstrel's reaction to Body Snatcher telling her what has happened to her father. Modular Man's storyline is very interesting in the book, especially his inner struggle between right and wrong, and finally finding love with Patchwork was a very interesting development. But of course this was only possible because Modular Man arranged for Travnikek to be murdered. I am so glad though Modular Man is finally away from Travnikek. Patchwork seems very nice, and her storyline seems to be a basic blueprint for all the jumper runaway kids who got mixed up in the wrong crowd. Now for the main event of this book, Bloat and Wurrungare. The book starts and ends with Wurrungare chapters, and he is so important into understanding Bloat's power and realizing it comes from the Dreamtime, which I did not realize until this book. Wurrungare teaches Bloat, the all-powerful, selfish teenage governor of the rocks, the importance of self-sacrifice. It is a long and painful journey for Bloat as he rediscovers buried trauma in his memory, with the help of Wurrungare and Jack Robichon. But I still feel Bloat gave too little too late, and caused a lot of pain and death through his willing ignorance in both this world and the Dreamtime. I also feel the governor's end was anticlimactic, as was Turtle drowning the rocks. I was expecting more of an explosion, I don't really know, more death. But this book does have some great moments, but it wasn't what I was expecting at all. And the end of the rocks and Bloat left me wanting more. And I think we will get more. Charon is still acting as ferryman over the metaphorical river Styx, taking jokers to their new homeland in the Dreamtime. I give this book a 6 out of 10, but that's just my opinion, and it's a great addition to the wildcard library. I am thinking of doing a Bloat and Bran comparison video for my Game of Thrones versus wildcard comparison playlist. Is that something you guys would be interested in? I think Bran and Bloat have a lot in common. But what do you think? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. And as always, this is just my opinion. Please remember to help out and like this video if you enjoyed it. You can also follow me on Instagram at Lady Jessica Riddell and on Twitter at Jessams. I post on Twitter regularly about my videos. If you want to see more book reviews, character comparisons, and fan theories, please subscribe to Jessie Bear Book Club. I try to post a new video at least once a week. See you next time on Jessie Bear Book Club. Bye!